We're here at Gallagher Stadium. Certainly an honor and a privilege to welcome in a man who cares about the Toledo community greatly, Mr. Jeremy Lincoln. Jeremy, welcome. Gotta tell you, 250 plus kids, 12 years of doing the Jeremy Lincoln Camp. Tell the folks how this started and your thoughts on it.
First of all, I'd like to thank BCSN for helping us out and always being a part of the last couple of years and getting the word out about our camp. But we greatly appreciate it. So first, I'd like to say thank you.
It's our privilege.
This is our 12th year. I started this camp by getting the vision from Sterling Sharp's camp. And if anybody knows about Sterling Sharp,
right.
He ran a boot camp. A lot of kids kind of free will running around right now. Sterling had them in line at 7:30 in the morning, and half of them out the door by 8:30 because they all quit. So, but that's where I kind of got the vision from and said, well, maybe I'll do a camp like this, maybe a little less, kind of more chill, relaxed, but let the kids get the opportunity to meet a lot of guys that played in the league, a lot of my friends that give a lot of their time, donate their time to come in for the weekend to Toledo, and we actually have a great time in Toledo. We get to play a little golf the day before, and they get to meet my family and my board and some people around the community.
Jeremy, let's give the fans that don't know a little retrospective. Great football player, DeVilbiss, a star at the University of Tennessee, a star with the Chicago Bears. All those aggregate experiences. Football is still football. You and I know that it's football. It's different levels of intensity, but it's football. What was the most fun that you had in the game at what level?
I thought it was the pro level, but now that I go back to a lot of Tennessee games. Yeah. I think I had more fun at Tennessee just because the whole atmosphere and in pros the atmosphere changes as you go from team to team. There are a couple teams that have that college atmosphere on game day on Sunday. I would say Kansas City, Minnesota, Chicago being one. So I had the opportunity to play in two great markets in New York and Chicago. But the experience jumping from high school to college is even a bigger jump than I think it is from college to pros because realistically, pros, everybody's just as good. It's more a mental game. So that's the major jump. It's more mental than physical, I believe. But the jump from high school to college is an amazing jump for and guys and kids and student athletes to get that opportunity to go and experience that.
Right, JL. In college, two phases of this. In college, give me a quarterback that you hated to face because he was so tough, and then give me one in the NFL when he came out of the huddle and you saw him underneath the center. You went, oh man, this could be a long day.
Well, you go back and I would say it started in practice for us. I mean, first of all, not even the quarterbacks, the receivers we had, Alvin Harper's, the Carl Pickett's of the world, Anthony Miller's, Anthony Morgan's, we had like 7 or 8, top 3 round draft picks coming out through my whole career. But, you think about it, you think about some of the guys who I played against in college, or, Troy Aikman's of the world, who's absolutely amazing. Shane Matthews was a beast at Florida when I was playing. Yeah. And to go on but to have an experience to play in the SEC was absolutely amazing. And a lot of people say the Big Ten. I understand. Realistically, it's the Big Three.
You get some bug-eyed people
following you around. It's the Big Three. Okay. But SEC, I like to say we got a solid 9 or 10 solid. And, you never know what can happen.
You're right about that. Absolutely right about that.
So, but I had such a great experience in college. And then playing out, like I said, we played the UCLAs of the world every year, and the Notre Dames against Raheem Ismail and Ricky Waters and all those guys, and Tony Rice playing that wishbone. So he was another threat that we played against him in my career. And all the way down to Todd Blackledge. He was a little bit older than I was. He was older. He was coming out when I was coming in, but to play those guys of that caliber was unbelievable.
Toughest coach, JL, you ever worked for?
But, I would say a lot of people think it's Mike Ditka, but I would have to say, the toughest coach I had to work for was not a head coach, was John Fox, who now is the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. And John was with me and with the Giants, even though Jim Foster was the head coach. Jim was the quiet guy. Foxy, if you didn't do it right,
you knew about it.
You knew about it, and you might not be there next day. Yeah. He didn't really care. He said, "Hey, man,
no place to run, no place to hide."
Absolutely. So, but John Fox probably was the best coach I ever had, being positioned or head coach. And but I had a slew of them. Mike Ditka was a great coach. He was kind of in the end of his career coaching. And Dave Wanstead came in, and Dave was his own kind of guy. He's kind of a Jimmy Johnson clone. Wanted to be Jimmy Johnson clone, but he did his thing as well. We had a pretty good run there until the end, where I went on to Seattle, and then over to New York. So. But great, a lot of coaches. But Johnny Majors was I loved him.
Class act. Yeah.
He's a class act,
No
and he was just no holds barred. get the job done, or you just don't play.
Yeah.
And so he put the best talent he could on the field.
How the Vols going to be this year, and how the Bears going to be?
Well, the Vols have a lot, their strong point is their secondary. The secondary, they have 6 or 7 guys that have at least started 5 games in the last 2 years. The safety coming out, being an All-American there. And, they got a tough, thing to do replacing, Ainge. I think, Crompton has come in and played well during the spring. So we'll see, but, realistically, that SEC East is all about Georgia. What they have coming back, Marino, the running back, and they have actually another young running back that had a great spring as well, and a great offensive line. So I think it's Georgia's to lose. I think the Vols will be right in the mix. You can't count Tim Tebow out, obviously, and Urban down in Florida. So this is going to be a great year in SEC.
And your Bears, are we going to get a quarterback, or what's going on there?
They just don't want to draft a quarterback. They don't want to pull the trigger and draft a quarterback.
Put you in the shotgun and let you do some
things.
Let
me do some things, man. I guess they're going to say let Grossman try to see what he can do. I hope. I think they changed his mechanics. They got him comfortable. He's throwing a lot off his back foot. And
he floats the ball down the middle. You can't do it. You can't do it in the NFL. No. You can do it in college. You float it deep down the seam. It's going the other way.
It's going the other way, maybe for 6.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I think they want to start with his mechanics. I think they really addressed it this year, from what I understand, through the mini camps and OTBs.
Okay. Listen, Jeremy, on behalf of Buckeye Cable, BCSN, and Toledo community, what you and your mom have done for all these years, dedicated to giving back, coming back, helping young kids and giving back to the community. We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
Congratulations for what you're contributing to our young people.
And I'd like to say thank you to all our sponsors. Ballas has been wonderful. The family, Mrs. Ballas is over there. Urban Active Fitness is so great. New Technology Steel, and some companies, Dominic and Tommy Silver out of New York. They've been such good people for us.
All right, JL, go Vols.
Thank you.
Tom Cole for BCSN.